Obviously, education funding is number one when it comes to municipalities budgeting. There was a decision made this year by a department called OSD. Normally, it's about 2.5%. I would say on average 2%, maybe up to 3%. This year, OSD came out with a decision late in your budgeting cycle and our school committee's budgeting cycle to go up over 14% increase. That is. That's tough to handle in most communities. I would say every community in my district is trying to figure out a way to deal with that. We started advocating. We heard from many of the superintendents, including here in North Attleboro, who took a lead role on this actually, to create some sort of relief, whether it's a pothole fund for kind of a 1 year. Hey, we understand it's a major increase. We can help you fund this through a formula. Or other ways to try and figure this out. In addition to that, we know that the community of North Attleboro is dealing with MSBA projects that you're going to have a significant capital outlay when it comes to your own project here, as well as the vocational school. You've likely heard that myself and Rep. Scanlon actually filed statewide legislation dealing with vocational schools to make sure that we're actually increasing the amount that you would get back reimbursement from the state when it comes to vocational schools. We need more housing across the spectrum. So when you hear about people talk about housing, some people envision, is it public housing? Is it subsidized housing? We need it all. We just need more production, and certainly. Mr. Borg and I have been talking about that, and what does that look like in a community like North Attleboro? I'm aiming specifically at the missing middle, right? We're talking about those traditionally middle-class housing units of, quarter-acre lot, up to 1,800 square feet. I mean, the kind of the post-World War II style housing that we just don't build anymore. If you want to increase economic development, you want to have people in your downtown. You want to have people in those economic generators. That are important to our communities. We walked through North Attleboro downtown to kind of look at what the situation was, what we could do. Can we find some state money, some grants? Certainly, there are many competitive grants out there that the town of North Attleboro is aware of and have been advocating for. There's federal money that I know Congressman Auchincloss and I have been speaking about as well. But on a state level, we're really trying to focus on, kind of what are those incentives? What can we do? What are some of the grants that we can free up to a town like North Attleboro? The MBTA has put out their annual 5-year SIP, their capital improvement plan, and it does not include money for the South Attleboro train station rehabilitation. I know that affects a lot of people in North Attleboro. I've certainly heard from folks here at Town Hall as well as residents. It is unfortunate. We're still going to continue to advocate. It's a draft only at this point, and there will be public hearings. So I would encourage anybody who's watching the meeting, or if there is somebody that wants to kind of organize comments from people in North Attleboro to do that. We will be advocating, short of chaining myself to the South Attleboro station one of these days. It's become a huge problem, and with the new governor. She certainly is listening, so we're going to try and do everything we can to make sure that there's at least a light at the end of the tunnel to spend on that station as well. Outdoor dining, which has become hugely popular in most communities, especially here in North Attleboro. We have extended that in the supplemental budget that passed the House and the Senate. Not signed as of an hour ago by the governor yet, but we anticipate she'll sign that bill, and that'll extend outdoor dining in every municipality through April of 2024.